Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 types of shit hits the fan people. Now, I talked about this, in one of my live streams last week. So today, this video is going to be dedicated to this. This video is going to be dedicated to this subject. And it's not an important subject, it's just something to talk about. So, we're going to start with loners. Loners break up into 3 different groups of loners. There's loners that want to be left absolutely alone. They want nothing to do with people. They just want to live. And they don't want to help anybody else. So if anybody else is being attacked or whatever, they're going to put their earmuffs on and act like the shit wasn't going on. Then you got the loner who would absolutely help people if they need help, and they will bring that person into the fold. They'll help them out, whatever it is. The person could even stay long term. The third loner is the guy that'll help you out, but as soon as he's done helping you out, you got to go about your business. You got to get the fuck out of here because he doesn't want people around him. That goes for the same with loner families. They're in those same 3 groups, but families make more sense. The loner families make sense because they don't want any disruption in their lifestyle and the way they operate, right? So if they have this nice little cohesiveness going on, they don't want to bring anybody in because it fucks up the dynamics. And if it fucks up the dynamics or it changes something, that's normally when you start having problems and breakdowns. Families that are loners, they often, again, they don't want to be bothered, but they'll help if they have to. But true loners, whether that's a family or a single guy on his own or a single woman, they're going to be tucked deep into the woods. So you're probably not going to run into these people, and if you do run into them, it's going to be on a accidental, finding, like you're walking in the woods and you're like, oh, what's that house back there, right? And listen, you walk up on a house in the middle of a wood during a shit hits the fan scenario, and that house is tucked in the woods, do not approach it. Don't sit there and go, man, I wonder what's going on. Now, if you're sick and you're hurt, you better be very, very cautious about approaching that house because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Like I said, that loner who wants nothing to do with people might shoot your ass on sight just because he doesn't want to deal with whatever problem you might be bringing with you, right? And again, there's some of those that cannot turn you away. They will help. The next group is called helpers. Now, these people, they want to help everyone. Well, they actually break up into 2 groups. They break up into 2 groups. There's helpers that want to help as many people as they can, and there's helpers that will want to help everybody and the bad guys, meaning that they think they can change the mind of that bad person by helping him out, by showing him kindness and love, that's going to change that bad dude's mind. Those are 2 different types, and that second one is the more moronic one because they think that with peace, love, and kindness, that shit's going to change with that bad guy. Now, maybe you come across a rotten kid, you might be able to change him with that, but not a fucking seasoned, 50-year-old dude who's been fucking a hardened criminal half his life or his whole life, and now you're gonna be, man, peace and love, and he's gonna be like, you know what, man, that's right. No, that shit don't happen. That's a fantasy world. Those are movies. In the real world, hard motherfuckers stay hardened, and especially during the shit's the fan scenario. So with helpers, they will often rather be fucking themselves in the long run. They will help themselves into their own predicament because they think that they can help everybody. They think everybody's their friend as well. That's the other thing with helpers. Helpers are thinking that everybody's on the same playing field. They're just like, oh man, well, you know what? I trust you right out of the gates. Now, with helpers that give that trust easily, you're going to have people that are going to take advantage of that help. So if you're a helper, or if you know someone that is, tell them, cut the shit. You got to be a little more vigilant. You can't just sit there and help everyone, but you also can't turn everyone away either, right? So it is a balance. Helpers are going to expose themselves into being taken advantage of. So once people notice, oh man, this dude's pretty nice. Look at him. He's helping everyone. Fuck that. Let's take advantage of him. And that can happen. Especially, guys, if you help too many people, and let's just say, for example, you have a home. You bring too many people into that home. Now there's so many people there, you can't watch everyone. And not only that, that guy that's going to take advantage of you is hiding amongst that crowd because you can't focus on him. You're focused on helping everyone else out. And then by the time you realize that you're fucked up, that someone's about to run a knife in your back, it's too late. So be careful when you're being a helper. Also, if you're going to be a helper, make sure you have food set aside that you can afford to give away. And once that food is gone, you're done. Because you can't help yourself into a predicament where you start giving out so much shit, you turn around and you go, shit, I'm out of food and water and supplies. Don't be that guy. Don't be the missionaries from the Rambo movie back in 2008, I think it was, right? Where they were going into some foreign countries thinking they can help people, and they were kidnapped. Why? Because they were so nice. They didn't have weapons, they were being kind, and of course, the bad guy took advantage of them and took them in as hostages. Obviously holding them for ransom, but my point is that when you're too kind and you're too loving, there's always somebody lurking, taking advantage of you. Now, never, don't forget when the shit hits the fan, how bad that's gonna be. With being a helper too, guys, you also have to realize who the big mouth are in your community, right? So let's just say, for example, my building, I'm helping people out, and I help too many people out, but I'm feeling good about it. Well, this lady that I told, don't tell anybody that I'm giving you X, Y, and Z, tells her fucking sister, who lives, down the hall from her, or on the next floor, or the next building. And then she tells her sister, and then her sister ends up at my doorstep. Oh, I heard you giving away food. And I look around, I'm like, all right, here you go. Here's a can of tuna and some Spam. Get out of here. She's like, all right. I said, don't tell anybody. And she goes, I won't. With that, a day later, 5 more motherfuckers show up. So you got to keep in mind who you're helping out too. Because if you're helping out an asshole is going to stab you in the back. An asshole is going to betray you. So just keep in mind who the big mouths are. You know who the big mouths are in your neighborhood. You know who's going to tell, who's going to talk, and you know who's not going to talk. So to keep that in mind when you're helping people out. The next group is Mayhem and Evil. Now, these group of people, guys, they're just evil. They are the people who can't wait for the shit hits the fan scenario so that they can run rampant. Right now, we got people running rampant in the city with the cops in play, with EMS, hospitals, judges, and lawyers and shit like that in play and ready to send people to jail, though that's not happening here in New York City. My point is, we got people acting a fool. During the shit hits the fan, guys, people are going to absolutely indulge in their fantasies of wanting to kill people, being bad, being completely evil, raping, pillaging, stealing, going into homes, pushing robberies, turn fuckers sideways. They kill you, your wife, they take your kids, they throw them in the sex trafficking industry. Sorry. So now your kids are gone to that, right? They're sitting there, they're going to torture you and your wife while they rape your kids. These are the evil things that are laying out there waiting. Now, these guys are out there now, and some of these guys are actually doing this shit now. But never mind during the shit hits the fan scenario. The unimaginable shit you're going to see out of these people are things that nightmares are made of. With these kind of people, guys, you cannot plead with them. You cannot say, man, please don't kill me. I'm sorry. I'll give you whatever you want. They don't care. Evil doesn't give a fuck. Actually, evil gets off on you pleading for your life, looking, pathetic in your last final minutes. Evil enjoys that. But if you know you're going to die, if you know that there's no way out of this situation, you got to suck it up. Lift your fucking head up and take that bullet, knife, or whatever the fuck it is. Because these people are going to fucking get enjoyment out of you trying to plead your way out of a situation that's unpleadable. Rulers. Now, rulers are people, guys, these people run completely and solely off of ego. They want to rule everything. They want to go around and tell people how they're going to run things, right? So again, you're in a small community in the Midwest somewhere, and you got this guy acting like he's the fucking mayor, governor, king, sergeant, drill sergeant, master sergeant. You name it, guys. This guy wants to be all of those leaders in one, and he wants to set all these rules and micromanage. So not only is he not letting other people have their 2 cents, because it's his community, for example, it's his home, he's going to micromanage everything that's done there, and he's going to tell you how it's going to run. And he's going to be evil, or in some aspects might be evil, and start setting examples. Sort of like what Negan did in The Walking Dead. He started out that way. He started out as a good guy, as we saw in one of the last few episodes. Then he became that asshole leader that started doing shit to people to get his name around so that people fear him. Rulers want to be feared as well. They want to be respected. They want to be feared at the same time. So no matter what they do, you're going to fall in line. And the other thing that rulers do is that they play on your sorrow. They play on the fact that you were out there on the road fucking needing food, shelter, and somewhere to be and be safe, and they're going to play off of that. And that's how rulers operate. They're going to use that to have you join their fold, to join their army, and then what? Right? So you got to be careful, these rulers, because we see some of them in our daily lives. Some of us have seen them in prepper groups. I've seen a couple prepper groups with some assholes like this, man, who are like, holy shit. Nonetheless, those prepper groups, they fell right the fuck apart. Because some of those guys in the prepper group identified those assholes already starting their bullshit. So, with the shit hits the fan is on, you're going to see more of these people acting like they're the shit. And they're the worst people to be around other than the Mayhem and Evil. They're probably number 2 on the list. The other thing with rulers, guys, is they're going to be very manipulative. They're going to manipulate the shit out of any situation and any person as they see fit. They're going to do this to get more people on their side. They're going to be liars. They're going to be cunning. They're going to be fucking charismatic, right? And these people are, again, the people you have to be careful of. Remember the governor in The Walking Dead. He was charismatic. He was manipulative. And look what he did, right? Well, he was a ruler. Same thing with Negan. Negan was charismatic. Whether you like to believe that or not, he was. Especially when he was smacking people in the head with baseball bats. But again, look at the character he became, right? He was manipulative, he was egotistical, and he was a ruler. Now this group, guys, this is the group we see today everywhere. Cowards. Cowards are going to be a big problem. Cowards are going to be the same. Cowards could be a loner, but probably not. More cowards, guys. Cowards will be easily manipulated. They will be the ones that follow the rulers. They will be the ones that follow Mayhem and Evil around because those people keep them safe. At least they think they do. Cowards are going to succumb to so many things so quickly. We saw it today last year during the mandates. We saw so many people roll over with the mandates because they were scared. They were scared to lose their jobs. They were scared to lose their homes, their houses, but they were scared. And they became cowards because they let an administration and politicians push them around. So now, if people were scared of this, mandates and restrictions on paper, what do you think they're going to do when it comes time for fucking guns, knives, and battle? They're going to be scared. The problem is, guys, thinking about being hurt and dying is scary. But being manipulated or dying on your knees or being told you have to do something that you don't need and you don't want, that's scary to me. And some of us will die on our fucking feet, right? And then a lot of us will become cowards. A lot of us will talk a lot of shit. We'll be like, yo, that's it, son. We got this. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure that these motherfuckers pay for it. We're not going to fucking follow their rules and regulation. And then they roll over. A lot of cowards out there, guys. And listen, cowards could be a short-lived thing. It could be something that you suffer, if that's a better word. You suffer for a little bit. Then you realize you didn't like that feeling. You didn't like that empty stomach feeling of feeling like shit. That's that feeling that gets you when you do something wrong and you know it was wrong and you let other people down. That feeling, that's a fucking motherfucker. So, with that, guys, there's a lot of cowards out there it might be short-lived for them. And there's certain cowards that will live their entire life as a coward. The problem with cowards, guys, is that they are people you know. They're people you grew up with. They're your next-door neighbors. They're people that you trusted. Or trust, rather, sorry. And you're going to find out what they're made of when the time comes. If the shit ever really does hit the fan. I mean, if it gets to the pinnacle of it, right now we're going through it, but if it actually hits like Mad Max level shit, you're gonna see who's a coward and who's not. At that time, at that point in time, that moment, you're gonna see whether they're gonna rise to the occasion or whether they're gonna run on you. You do not want to be with a dude who's gonna jump out of the foxhole and leave you by yourself. So, other honorable mentions, if you will, are religious freaks, believers, and suicide groups. Now, suicide groups, guys, during the shit defense scenario, you're probably going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of people who cannot handle what is going on, meaning the shit hitting the fan, and then they wind up gathering people together and they all die together because most people don't want to die alone. So they're going to get their white sneakers and their Sunday's best on, and they're going to drink some Kool-Aid, watching Netflix, and die. Those kind of suicide groups. I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened yet, but whatever. So, you get my point, right? And some of you get the white sneaker reference. Suicide groups are going to be all over the place, guys. You're going to have people, again, rulers who are going to get people together and realize this shit's not working out, it's not going in their favor, and that group is going to turn into a suicide group. Those are people you need to stay away from because they can absolutely be manipulative enough to get you to join their fold so that you could put on a white sneaker and drink some Kool-Aid and fucking go off to the mothership with them. So be careful of that. As far as religious freaks goes, guys, that's a group you definitely have to pay attention to. Those are people that are going to be manipulative as well, try to get you to join their fold and start saying weird shit like, well, God told me to do this. These people want you to join their groups no matter what. But if you happen to be another established religion, let's say you're Muslim or you're Jewish, well then they're not going to have you join their group. They're going to be like, well, no, you can't come into this community. Even though you need help, even though you're hungry and you're thirsty, they might not take you into the group. So therefore, with that, they're probably going to ask you at the gates, well, what religion are you? And if you say, oh, you know, I'm agnostic, or I'm fucking an atheist, they might take you in because they think they can convert you. But religious freaks, those are groups you definitely have to watch out for. Now, believers, not to be confused with religious freaks. Believers are the guys who do read the Bible. That's their day in and day out. They read the Bible in the morning, they read it at night. But they know that they still got to go outside and perform and get things done. They still have to plow the fields, feed the horses, feed the cows, feed the pigs, collect the eggs. They know that God's not going to come out of the sky and save them, that they have to do this on their own. Whereas religious freaks, they are going to wholeheartedly just rely on good things happening to them. Well, Jesus is going to come and bring us some eggs in the morning. That kind of shit, right? And then you got those kind of guys that are like, oh, well, you know what? Jesus spoke to me today, and he said that we needed to go over to that community and raid it. So again, guys, the difference between believers is that believers will get it done, and they will protect theirs. And then you have religious freaks. They're going to go all out in the name of God or whatever religion they follow. All right, guys, so this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can like and subscribe to the Angry Truths channel, the Angry Lensman channel. You can also follow me on the Angryprepper Fitness channel starting in March. All right, guys, thank you for watching.